Welcome back to RacerXOnline.com. I'm Kellen Brower here at the 2023 Honda HRC team intro at Blackmore Ranch. It's been a fun day so far. The team, of course, announced Colt Nichols on the roster this year. We learned about Jett Lawrence racing the West Coast. Hunter Lawrence will be racing the East Coast. And Chance Hymas is actually also going to do some select East Coast rounds as well before he joins the team full-time for the 250 class in pro motocross. So a little bit of news there. Then we hit the track out here behind us. There's a little bit of an oval track. We did a little bit of relay racing. That's been a lot of fun so far, and we're also going to get a chance to catch up with the athletes and hear about their upcoming season and what they think is going to happen. Let's talk about the offseason a little bit. It's been kind of a bit of a whirlwind because you did the MXON, then you took some time off, then you were in California, right, for a little bit with Peter Park, and then now back in Florida. So just kind of describe like the last couple of months and how it's been for you.
Yeah, so obviously we had MXON, it made my season a little bit longer, which went really well, actually. Obviously got the win. So after that, I came straight here, actually, and got on Supercross, tested, and then I actually got to go to Hawaii for my first ever vacation. So that was pretty sick. Got to go with a whole bunch of my buddies. So got to kind of just chill and relax. Went to Kauai, a lot of surfing, and just overall got to relax and kind of check out a little bit. So that was good. I came straight back. I went back to Florida for a week and a half, got to chill a little bit at home, and then came back out here, tested 2 days, and then went to Santa Barbara and actually didn't ride for 3 weeks. I just was off the bike training. And then, went back home, and now I've been on the bike for, this will be my third week or fourth week, but the testing kind of allowed me to take more time off, and I'm actually in a really good spot with the bike. So riding's been good, and overall happy. I feel like I got a little bit of a refreshment this offseason, so looking forward to Anaheim 1.
You did that kind of same program last year, right, where you were out here in California, you did the Peter Park thing, right, and then you went back to Florida. What did you kind of learn from that you're trying to like almost fine-tune a little bit this year to make a little bit better?
So actually last year I was riding at this, because I was riding in Castillo. This year didn't work out so much, so I was just off the bike training, which I think allowed me to really focus on that aspect. And then when I go to the dirt bike, I'm not trying to do two things at once. I can really focus on that specific thing. So that was good this year. My off-the-bike training was really, really good. Gained more fitness, and then when I got back on the bike, I was already comfortable because we had done that testing. And I've been at Jack Chambers' place in Florida, which is different from last year. I was at Rat Trays, but his place unfortunately got shut down. So everything's been good. I've been really comfortable on the bike. Colt has been helping a lot with testing, and made a change this week actually at our photo shoot that has really gotten my comfort level even more. So overall everything's good. The team vibe's good, and as far as program wise, it's fairly the same, but just minor few tweaks, just kind of trying to train off the bike and then get back on the bike and really focus on that. So that's really the only changes for this year, and I guess more maturity is the biggest thing.
All right, Colt Nichols. Well, first of all, let's just go back to when you get the call from Team Honda. I mean, how kind of rewarding was that to know that there's still, someone looking for your services and that you get to go into your rookie year on a 450 with this kind of program?
Yeah, it was rewarding to say the least, but stressful. I had a really stressful offseason. I thought I had a deal lined up with another team that fell through. No idea what we were doing after that. Then I got the call from my agent Jimmy Button to say, hey, you got the ride, with HRC. So I was pretty ecstatic that day. I just wanted to ride the bike already, and that took a few weeks. But no, I was pumped, man. It was a lot of weight off my shoulders, and really, really good position for me to be in.
Like you said, you had another team that eventually fell through, and you're kind of jumping between a couple different programs. Like, how hard was it to mentally juggle that situation where you need a ride for 2023? You didn't have something fully lined up yet, but you had to obviously take some roles to get some money. So how hard was that?
Yeah, it was tough. Just because I know what it's like on the other side of the fence. I was on Star for 6 years, and I was considered maybe one of the best lights teams there was. And I came into this whole thing as a privateer, so I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be on a program where you feel like you need a little more, but there's just not there to get it. So for me, that was a big thing. I wanted to come in this with a chance, and a really, really good team. And I thought I had that, like I said, and that folded, and then we were kind of just like, we don't know what the hell we're doing, So it was just really, really up in the air, a little stressful, but at the end of the day, I was going to go race no matter what. That's what I wanted to do. Whether I showed up in the back of my truck at A1, we were going to do that. And luckily this opportunity came up, and best possible situation for me to land is where I landed, which is rare, but no, we're pumped with where we are.
How's off-season been? What kind of things have you kind of already started to work through that you're happy about the progress so far?
Just Like, honestly, the compounding of coming off of 21 with no injuries, another solid year with no injuries, that for me is like the biggest, what I don't know if I'm proud of, because just from all I went through, I was like, I didn't have that compounding years, you know. So each preseason, each off season, now 21, the 22 off season just started a step better, a little better, and then so is this one. This one we're picking up, you know, where we leave off better than when we start. So that, I think, is the biggest thing, and just wrinkling out the irons. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Ironing out the wrinkles. You know, we got, you know, just figuring out what mindset I do my best riding, best laps in and stuff like that, start bits and pieces. And testing has been easy. I mean, as far as from what we've done, you know, in the past few years, this year's been, it's not done yet, but it's a little easier than previous years, you know. So bike's in a great place, we're in a great place, everyone's feeling good.
Like you said, with the kind of consistency of remaining healthy, how has it been kind of the grind of it? Obviously, it's a long season to begin with, but now consecutive seasons in a row where you've done everything, you've stayed healthy through it all, you've been in the fight through it all. How are you feeling?
No, good. I mean, dude, like, if you'd only known the places where I'd been after injuries and stuff, like, dude, this is, if you're a little tired after the season, you can recover. You know, that's fine. Like, it's not as big an issue or problem to fix as we've had in the past. So, no, I'm fine.
Moving from that, then, how did the off-season grind begin? Was it nice to take a couple weeks off and refresh a little bit, and then how has it been since then?
Yeah, we didn't take a few many weeks off. We just took 1 week off, and it was good. I stayed home, and this kind of was more of a teenager. I went out late, not to bars, so guys, calm down on that. We found an arcade place that we went to a lot. They had pool tables. I got really into pool, bowling, that stuff, and just kind of watch some movies and that stuff, and just kind of be a normal teenager, because I very rarely get to do that ever. It's always pretty serious with my job, so it was good to kind of do that and have some fun with that. Then obviously after that we grind the 450 a little bit more, because I was only on the 450 for a month before MX on, so it was good to do some more motors on that, get more comfortable with that. And then the past few months we've just been in on the 250 grind with Supercross and that stuff, just getting that Supercross feet back under me.
Yeah, how unique is that then? Because you know you're going to be racing the 450 outdoors, but you still got to race the 250 indoors. Like, balancing that, is that kind of like a hard challenge, or is it kind of fun to be able to go back and forth to both bikes and do some different testing?
It's definitely a bit tricky, but we got it fairly planned out. Once we do West Coast and it goes to the East Coast, we're gonna do some testing on the 450, get some better settings. Bike's already fairly good, but we can always be better, as you always say. So just looking for myself to be better on the 450 and bike. So going towards that, might do some 450 rounds on the Supercross, but we're just kind of playing it by ear right now. My main focus is 250. But it's definitely a bit tricky just to kind of like, you go from that style of being off the back a lot more with the 250, then 450, if you do that, you're going to loop out. So that's probably the main tricky thing. And obviously the bikes, both bikes they're the same bike, but they both have different characters to it. So it's a bit tricky learning that, but I think we both know it now. So hopping from either one, it's kind of, you get to get used to it.
Just being able to do the one national, it might be tough to kind of like take anything from it, but were there some things that you picked up that you feel like is going to help you as you make your pro debut fully?
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a lot of things. For me, I went in with no expectations, and like there's so many things you could work on, but obviously the pace was a lot higher than I expected, and I feel like that's for everybody. Like you don't really know until you do it. But for me, it's just obviously I need to be in better shape. Those guys, I was racing men, so no, I'm excited. I feel like I'm starting to come around and get a lot stronger, and I feel like by the time outdoor starts, I'll be in good shape. But no, it was a good learning experience for me.
And they say that the plan for you is to do some select East Coast rounds. So how are you kind of almost like preparing for that? Is it really trying to put in the motos to get like as prepared as possible, or are you just trying to take it one step at a time?
Yeah, I mean, last year I feel like that was like my one step at a time thing, and just learning Supercross. For me now, it's obviously there's still stuff I need to work on, especially with whoops and corners and all that. But right now I'm doing a full boot camp, trying to get ready for round one, basically, if I was going to do that. So the goal is to be ready whenever. But yeah, I want to be as ready as possible. So right now I'm doing motos out at the dog pound now with Michael Byrne, and no, it's been good.